So stepping up, hit as he threw, caught wide open, Money Malone, touchdown, Baltimore, domination.
They chillin' in Alaska, swimming in Atlanta, roaches out in Emo, Akira, Carolina, they wildin' in Chicago, Highland down in Whitney, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee Project D, they lunchin' in Vancouver, Desperado shootin', the renegades on the loose, the hyenas lootin', gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows, the Furies swooping in divine order for the pharaohs, Indy on the rise, the Sharks about to mash, gladiators, knights and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Now welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Game day, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the rockets. Cause we tighter than the Huddles. Welcome to the playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Now welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Third down is going down. Round and pound, oh, we gotta air them out. That's why I gotta hit the route. Hit the flat, if I catch it, then I'm out. Fourth and inches gotta take. YOLO, just no pump fake. So tighten up and hit the power high. The outer blow the draw them off side.
What a move by Varner. Varner makes a man miss. Shan Varner is going to score. One of the best plays in Varner's illustrious career.
Let me remind folks here, Shan Varner, a 6'6" tight end with this nimble move.
Colin Hart breaks a tackle. Hart 20 down to the 17-yard line. Best run of the day for Colin Hart. And Sioux Falls has grabbed some momentum off the Nyberg interception. 7:54 to go in the second. Jay Ayola shakes it. Oh my goodness, Ayola gets away. Jay Ayola on the first play for Tallahassee is going to score again. Pass is intercepted by Jeffrey Daggs and returned up to the 11-yard line. And the Aztecs flip it over. It's away. Oda makes another tackle. Gosh, Oda, you've got to be kidding me. Big chase and one touchdown. Oh my God.
All the way back in July, 21 teams began their journey to the top of the SFL mountain. But the road is long and grueling, and one by one, they all fell to the wayside. Now only 8 remain, and tonight 2 teams that have been agonizingly close in the past but have never lifted the trophy clash deep in the heart of Texas. The hometown Houston Hyenas came into this game having a closed out the regular season with a 5-game winning streak and a victory over conference rival Tallahassee in the final game of the regular season. However, they will face stiff opposition tonight from the Wildcats of the East. They've come to town looking to capture some of that playoff magic from a year ago when they made a run to the finals. One of these team seasons ends tonight, but for another, it's a shot at the championship game. The SFL Season 11 quarterfinals start right now on Twitch.tv. Good evening, I'm your play-by-play commentator, Michael Truillo, joined in the booth tonight by Levant Mercer. Levant, it's a playoff party, and it starts right now.
And I can't wait for it to begin. Let's get it started.
We have got the Wildcats winning the toss, choosing to defer to the second half. And the kicker for the Chicago Wildcats, Jesus Garcia, has the ball on the tee at the 30-yard line. The kick is away, and it's game on in the playoffs of the SFL. Returning up to the 25-spin move, up to the 30, is Yassine Clifton, or Just Fed, rather, is returning kicks tonight for the Hyenas. And let's get you through that Houston Hyenas offense. The quarterback is Kentez Johnson. Running back Warren Murray. Wideouts Badir Ajalani, DR Sim. The tight end is Yassine Clifton. They'll start from their own 30-yard line, going right to left across your radio dial. Handoff goes to the right side to Warren Murray. He'll pick up a yard or two on first down. Stopped that time by Blake Hammer.
That's something that Houston hasn't normally done this season. They're more of a vertical team, but let's see which team actually gets the running game started early today.
Kentez Johnson back in the backfield. Murray alongside him. A throw on second down right over the middle. And it caught close to a first down. They'll pick up 8 yards on the play through Josh Fed and get close to the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Well, just passes like those. He has the second highest quarterback rating in the league at 98.3 per game. Kentez is really hot rookie right now.
Now 3rd and 1. Do they trust Warren Murray? They do give him the ball, and he picks up the first down across the 40 to the 43. Warren Murray, who in the last week of the regular season had 30 yards and a touchdown on 14 carries, picks up the first down of the game for the Hyenas tonight, wearing black helmets, red jerseys, black pants with gold numbers and red trim. And they will have another first down from their own 43-yard line. 2 wideouts left, single right, handoff delayed to Murray. He'll run right side, and he'll get just a few yards. He was chased down from behind by Chris Sarinsky. For the Chicago Wildcats, they're in all white tonight, white helmets, white jerseys, white pants with orange and black numbers, and a special pink trim tonight for the Wildcats. Second and 8-eye formation. Handoff up the middle. Murray swims his way past the first tackler. And he will make it all the way up to midfield, so 3rd and 3 coming up.
I feel like Houston is starting to play towards the weakness of the defense. They know that Chicago isn't that great at run defense, and they're 3rd in the league in pass defense, so that's probably why they're going to Murray more often here.
There'll be an offset eye, single receiver each side, 3rd down and 3 right at midfield. But Chicago really stacking the box here, but they'll only rush 3. And Murray, Kentez Johnson went down. Murray didn't stay in block. He went out for the pass, and Chris Sarinsky brought him down, and they'll force the punt on the first drive.
Just seems he didn't really read the blitz there on the odd man side there. Sarinsky just absolutely dominated the outside tackle there and got to the quarterback.
The punter for Houston is Brian Adams. He's standing at his own 30-yard line. Low snap, kick is away cleanly, though. And received just inside the 20 by the return man for Chicago, Blake Hamrick, returning kicks for the Wildcats today. And now we shall see The Chicago offense with quarterback E.T. King, running back Jared Willis, wide receivers Corey Carter, Buchanan Simons, and J.C. Torres. And the tight end is their stout man in the middle, Shan Varner. They will start at their own 22, going left to right across your radio dial. Four-man front with two linebackers for the Houston Hyenas and a single running back in the backfield. And it's a pitch to that running back with Willis, and he breaks one tackle, two tackles, first down, running left side, hard against the defense, and he'll pick up 11 yards and a first down to the 34.
Well, just look at it again. This is why they call him the E-back. He comes in an emergency. You break open that glass and watch this. Just pounding the defense there.
And he shed a tackle from a 6'5", 315 defensive tackle, Elvis Cooper, en route to that 11-yard run. Real heavy set now on 1st and 10 for Chicago from their own 34. And it's going to be a pitch out to Willis on the near sideline, and he'll grab 4 yards before being run out of bounds by number 53, Damian Hutchison.
So what I see right now is both teams are just feeling each other out so far in their opening series. Both of these pass defenses are in the top 10, so they're probably going to try to go more underneath, knowing and understanding that.
2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard swing pass. 2 behind E.T. King. Willis gets the ball again, dragging more tacklers. He's not going to pick up the first down, but he's going to get mighty close. 3rd down and 2 coming up. And let's take a look at some keys to the game for Chicago on offense. Shan Varner's got to be a pivotal weapon in the offense, even though they haven't found him yet. Varner last week had 3 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns on his 3 on the season. And here's Jared Willis again, straight up the middle and past midfield over to the Houston 48-yard line, effectively flipping the field, and another first down for Chicago.
Here's the Week 6 signing replacing J. Calvin Kim, and he's doing a great job of it so far right here. Forced couple runs up the middle, and he's pounding through several defenders every time.
They just can't seem to bring him down at first contact so far. And Chicago is the first team to drive into enemy territory in the ball game. E.T. King under center, 2 left, single right. On 1st and 10, handoff Willis. Looks like there's nowhere to go, but he pounds through and picks up 3 yards.
Seems like they're treating him as the power back out there. He keeps getting 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Normally those plays get stuffed right there, but as long as he keeps pushing through on those ISO and trap plays, it's going to be a rough day for Houston.
They're going to go with the power formation again. And a swing route again to Willis. The pass was a bit high. He lowers the shoulder, but this time he's driven to the ground by Tylee Jones.
I think he just couldn't get his feet set underneath him there, and he just threw it a little too high, almost way over Willis there. Probably slowed the play up long enough for Houston to get there.
3rd down and 5, longest conversion attempts for Chicago on this drive. Right now, from the 43, T. King get a throws out to the far side. Is a wide open man on the far sideline, and catch complete, 1st down and more, as J.C. Torres picks up his first catch of the game. And welcome back to Houston. We apologize for the technical difficulties for the stream. We are back right in the same place that we left off, as A dive up the middle from the fullback Enrico Bovino goes nowhere, bringing up a 3rd and 5 from Houston. For 3rd and 5 for Chicago from the Houston 31. 2 left, single right, I formation behind E.T. King. He'll drop back to pass, throws deep over the middle, looking for the end zone, and it's batted away. Eddie Gage, the strong safety, got out there to knock it down.
Man with a lot of playoff experience. He's there along with Sim on offense during the season 6 run.
And once again, welcome back to Hyena Den Park Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Michael Cirillo, joined in the booth by Levant Mercer as the Chicago Wildcats kicking unit, led by Jesus Garcia, will attempt this 41-yard field goal. And it is up and right down Main Street, making a 47-yarder. And Chicago on their opening drive gets on the board first.
This is sort of kicks that make playoff runs real. These deep kicks from plus 45 yards in this league aren't a sure thing.
Especially not with a kicker being not paid great like Garcia is, but he steps up and makes the kick. So Chicago up 3-0 in the middle of the first quarter as Jesus Garcia kicks off again. And Houston will get their second chance to put points on the board in this ball game. And Josh Fedd got blown up on that return. He's stopped at the Houston 29-yard line. Let's take you through the Chicago defense, since we didn't get to on Houston's first drive. The safeties are Maury Spurgeon and A.J. Barnes. Or, excuse me, that's the Chicago defense. I'm all over the place tonight. Free safeties are Maury Spurgeon and A.J. Barnes. Corners are Blake Hamrick and Jesse Vick. Linebackers are Dylan Rowland and Clint Hendershot as Murray goes, a spin move, a double spin move, and he's still going. And he'll pick up 6 yards on first down.
6 yards on the play. Number 33, credited with the tackle. Second and 3.
Big pickup by Warren Murray. He was on the sideline watching Jared Willis do his thing on the first drive for Chicago, and I'm sure he wants to answer back. 3 receivers bunched to the near side left. Handoff, Murray, and Murray's going down right at the line of scrimmage. He will not advance there as the big body of Dylan Rowland knocked him down, 3rd and 3.
A key thing for Chicago, now that they understand that Houston's going to run the ball, is they're going to need Rowland and Hendershot to stop those outside runs.
Looks like they're going to try and run it again with the I formation, and here is Warren Murray, and he's got a block, but he escapes somehow, but still doesn't make the first down. Robert Boucher somehow kept the ball from breaking the sticks, and it is 4th and inches for Houston. And they're going to send out the punting unit. Brian Adams punting for the second time today. This time he'll get it away from about his own 25. And the kick is in the air. And a fair catch called for by Hamrick, and he'll take it at the 24. So with a 3-0 lead, Chicago's going to get the ball back. Make sure to follow us on Simulation FL on all the social medias to make sure you never miss a moment. Follow at Simulation FL on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I formation for Chicago on the first play from scrimmage to the 24. Willis bounces off his own blocker and will get 8 yards on that run.
So far, the theme of the day is they're going against the trends. Both teams are going to run the ball, it seems, all night long.
Well, both of these pass defenses are very highly rated, so I can see why the coaching staffs would favor a heavier ground game to start at least in the first quarter. 2nd and 2. Chicago really loves to throw out of this heavy set, and it's a swing pass to Willis, and Willis is bottled up in the backfield and taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Tyleek Jones, that's the second play like that he's made spying Willis and coming down to make the tackle.
I think that play wouldn't have been possible if the offensive line or the tight end that was assigned to him wouldn't have missed his block. The block was missed, and he came down hard on Willis.
3rd down and a short 2. Willis is going to get the ball. Big hole opens up, and he picks up a first down past the 35 to the 37-yard line. A big kick-out block there by the wide receiver Buchanan Simons allowed that play to go off without a hitch.
It's already on 43 yards today. That's more than more than what he had 2 weeks ago.
They're going to run the I formation again inside their own half at the 37-yard line. Just a single receiver each side. Willis gets the ball, and he's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage and fall forward for just a yard. That tackle was made by Rodney Panani. Let's take you through the rest of the Houston defense while I get a chance. The free safety is Blake Chance. The strong safeties Eddie Gage. Corners Tyleek Jones and Ryan Michaels. Linebacker B.J. Lovelace. And on the defensive line, it's Rodney Panani and Chad Tackle. Another handoff to Willis, this time running left. He's got plenty of room down the sideline, a first down and more, past the 50-yard line and into Houston territory as the clock runs out on the first quarter. We have played 11 minutes. 1 quarter down, Chicago up 3-0 on Houston. This is the SFL Playoff Quarterfinals on Twitch.tv, presented by APM Music. Stay with us. And player of the first quarter definitely is Jared Willis, as he has been carrying this Chicago offense to the lead and potentially a bigger lead on this drive. But E.T. King's going to air it out this time. Wide open behind the defense and down to the 16-yard line. Big catch, Corey Carter.
And the first pass play that went deep and struck gold. Look at this, right over the defender there. What a wonderful pass by E.T. King, who has playoff experience.
Blake Chance reached his hand up but could not knock the ball away. And now, inside the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone for the first time today, go the Wildcats. In the offset I formation, a floater over the middle into triple coverage. He was looking for Buchanan Simons, but E.T. King was lucky that ball was not going the other way.
That's going to be one of the keys in this game. You know, both of these quarterbacks have been a little inconsistent in the amount of turnovers that they throw. And, you know, like we spoke in the Dallas game a couple weeks ago, when most of your game is vertical, that's what tends to happen sometimes.
E.T. King under center. 2nd and 10 for the Houston 16. Chicago trying to extend their lead. E.T. King's going to the end zone. It's tipped and incomplete. Ryan Michaels got his big hand up there, knocked the pass away. It was intended again for Buchanan Simons.
E.T. King was feeling the pressure there. They sent 6 on the rush there. He felt the rush on his odd side and threw it where I don't even know there was a receiver.
And now on 3rd and 10, they're going 5 wide, trusting the arm of E.T. King in the clutch. Takes a high snap, plenty of time in the pocket, over the middle, into the end zone, picked off. Houston takes the ball away, and it's Blake Chance with the interception.
If the last 2 plays weren't a warning sign, there you go. Blake Chance with a wonderful interception in the red zone, saving his team some points on the board. Once again, now Houston gets the ball back in not so great field position, but they save points on the board.
King was looking for J.C. Torres in the back of the end zone, but he could not find him, and Houston takes over with a chance to take the lead here in the second quarter as Warren Murray is spinning his way like a whirling dust devil up the middle for 7 yards on first down.
Just went up the middle there like a Tasmanian devil. All you saw was just a blur. He just went up there like a tornado up the gut.
And that's Warren Murray's game, though. He hits the hole and he just starts spinning And good luck if you can get your hands on him. He's running outside and another spin move and a cut and a second spin move into the open field. Past the 50 and he's got that breakaway speed. 20, 15, 10, 5. Put it on the board. Houston Dynamite touchdown.
And right after getting points shaved off the board, they put it in themselves. Look at this. Making men miss. No one there to touch him. There's like 5 defenders right there, and Warren Murray's gone. This man has speed for days, months, and years.
Wow.
Touchdown.
Warren Murray put some people on posters. It was 2 spin moves and a jump cut before he got free, and the acceleration to run past the corners of Chicago. Insane athleticism from Warren Murray, and Houston takes the lead.
You know, when you still have like 10 yards of separation on like the secondary who has catch-up speed, you just know that is just supersonic burst.
David Griffin, the Houston Hyenas kicker, on the field for the first time tonight. He will attempt the extra point to put Houston up 7-3. And that kick is up and good. So with 9 minutes, 39 seconds to go in the first half this evening, Houston has stormed back and taken a 7-3 lead over the Chicago Wildcats. This is the SFL Playoffs presented by APM Music. Stay with us. Quick shout-outs tonight to everybody watching. True KJ5, Cody SFL, Simmer Down Bro War, City for Life, Eddie Gage, Mix the Gamer, DR Sim, High Flying Dwarf, and everybody else watching us on Twitch TV tonight. Thank you for joining us for the SFL quarterfinals. Some great action coming to you throughout the next couple of weeks as we crown our Season 11 champion. Returned by Corey Carter. Puts Chicago at their own 29-yard line, looking to bounce back from an empty drive that could have ended up in the end zone, but instead ended up in the hands of Blake Chance.
First and 10. From the all-play 30 yards.
E.T. King under center. First and 10 from the 29. Going right to left across the radio down the second quarter. They're going to give it to Willis, who's trying to bounce it outside, and he will, as far as Eddie Gage, who comes down and makes the tackle at the 33, gain of 4.
Number 27 with the tackle.
So the key for Chicago on this drive is don't be disheartened about what just happened. They just need to go back to doing what they were doing and just change up the route trees when they get to the red zone.
And that's run the ball with Willis. Over 6 yards a carry he's averaging so far. He's going to get the ball again, but this time he's bottled up in the backfield. They ran the same play 2 plays in a row, and the Houston defense was ready for it. Eddie Gage in on another tackle, and B.J. Lovelace was there as well.
I mean, not only that, but they've been favoring that side all game. I don't see them bounced out to the left as much. It either goes to the right or middle so far in this game.
4 wide now on 3rd and 7 for Chicago. E.T. King hasn't had to use his arm to get out of situations today, but this time he does. Soft zone read and floating it right over the middle perfectly into the hands of Tyler Baker. First down up to the Chicago 42.
So just like the play earlier, it seems like Chicago is going to trust more receivers in this game. They've gone to some that haven't really done much all season. They haven't really gone into Torres or Simons as much yet.
Just one receiver each side. Houston really stacking the box. They're going to run blitz, and it works to perfection as Willis only gets 2 yards as he fell forward. He was wrapped up immediately by James Smith, and he had to use all the power in his legs to push forward for a positive gain.
We have to give it up to Jared Willis, though. The plays like that so far in this game, he has pushed through for yardage almost every time.
And now E.T. King looks to the air over 4 receivers set, but they're just going to throw it out to Willis, and he can't get there. Good pursuit angle that time by Blake Chance, and it's going to set up a 3rd and 3 right at the midfield stripe.
Well, Chance is quietly having himself a good day so far. He's gotten a couple tackles in, and he saved the first down on that play.
Not to mention making the interception on the previous drive that led to the Houston touchdown. 3rd and 3. Are they going to trust Willis to get those yards, or are they going to go to the air? Let's see. E.T. King under center, hands it off. Willis running right side. He wins the one-on-one battle by shoving the defender to the ground and picks up the first all the way to the 41.
I don't know what happened there, but the sound you just made is also probably what that defender was feeling after he got hit. Just look at it again. Just destroyed right there.
Tyleek Jones, who's made a couple of really nice solo tackles so far today, just got melted as Willis lowered the shoulder and picked up the first down into Houston territory at the 41. Willis is going to get it again, this time running right up the middle, and will get 1 yard as he couldn't break through the defensive line.
I don't think he's been stopped in the backfield yet. Houston really needs to figure out some way to crush the gaps and force him inside and just get some way into the backfield.
High formation with 3 receivers. King back to pass. Plenty of protection. Now it breaks down and he goes down. Back behind the 45 to the 46. Solo tackle, Chad tackle. First time we've called his name tonight, and it's a big play.
It might not be as prestigious as Fats Johnson or Alex Dominguez, but he's gotten his fair share so far this season, and there, right there, he just dominates the center and gets to the quarterback.
Chad tackle, that takes him up to 2.5 sacks on the year. Not really prolific in the backfield. Is E.T. King going long down the seam? I don't have time to talk about defensive players because it's another long first down.
First down, all pros.
Buchanan Simons picks up an impressive catch along the sideline. Go ahead, Levant.
That right there is just what happens when there's just too much cushion in the zone right there. Nobody was covering the post route, and it just burnt them right there. Can't leave anyone that open for E.T. King to throw to.
Real heavy formation run all the way coming out from Chicago. 1st and 10 just outside the red zone of the 21. Willis, he got blown up in the backfield and he's not going to get any yards. He ran the counter away from his blockers and Ryan Michaels had none of that.
That's one thing that Ryan Michaels is very good at. He's one of the biggest leaders on this defense, and he just read that run perfectly. Had a lot of help behind him too, though.
Now Chicago will spread it out a little bit on 2nd and 10. 2 receivers left, single right, still a handoff to Willis. Willis waiting for his blocks to get set up, and he does, and he gets 6 yards to the 15-yard line into the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone for the 2nd time today. First time the Wildcats were here. E.T. King threw a back of the end zone interception to Blake Chance. Second quarter time winding away, now under 4.5 minutes to go. As E.T. King sets up under center, 3rd and 4, pitch to Willis, and he's run down by Elvis Cooper, who makes his 2nd tackle of the game.
I mean, as you said earlier, Elvis Cooper is like 315 pounds of just pure mass. The pulling guard was just left isolated. He just ran right through and absolutely crushed him back there.
The pitch play did not create the separation that was needed. It's going to be a kick attempt again, and it is right down Main Street, 33 yards by Jesus Garcia. He has scored all 6 of the Wildcat points tonight, and with just over 4 minutes to go in the first half, it is Houston 7, Chicago 6. This is the SFL presented by APM Music Playoffs on YouTube. Once again, I am your play-by-play commentator, Michael Cirillo. Joining me tonight, Levant Mercer from Hyena Den Park Stadium in Houston, Texas. Return, wow.
That's just the type of hit that leaves you speechless. Just look at that again if we could, and if we can't, that's fine. He just came right up and absolutely hit him in the jaw.
That's the 2nd hard hit that Josh Fed has taken today on returns. That was a monster hit. You're right, I was left pretty speechless here as the Chicago defense really hasn't gotten set yet. Can Houston take advantage of this? Over the seam, complete first down, stretching out to make the catch is D.R. Sim. We had to wait a while for his first catch of the game, but it comes in style.
Very definitely. And here you just have, like, probably a millisecond to throw the ball. And that's just what the presence of mind Kentez has, just to throw and get it in there.
Yarson makes his first catch of the game and making his first tackle of the game on that play was Maurice Spurgeon. And it is Maurice Spurgeon's birthday today, so happy birthday to the Chicago safety. And he says that he has a very special birthday present of going to the semifinals as Warren Murray picks up 5 yards on first down off the left side.
One of these adjustments that both teams have to make coming out of the huddle, coming out of the tunnel in the second half, is that they really need to contain the runner. Both teams weren't really expecting this, and they've both been punished by it so far.
2nd and 5, just shy of the 45-yard line for Houston. Kent says all day to throw, and he finds a wide-open Josh Fed. He may have been rocked on that return, but he makes a big catch and has the stadium rocking right now as Houston drives into Chicago territory.
Kentez Johnson right now is in the running for offensive rookie of the year, and there he is continuing to make his case. Over 3,000 yards passing this season, and he seems to be very poised in the pocket, even though that this is a pressure situation. These are the playoffs, and he's doing well.
Into Chicago territory, inside the 40. They're at the 38-yard line. Johnson again, plenty of time, throws far side. That pass is complete. Yassine Clifton makes his first catch of the day from the tight end spot and picks up 7.
Well, former Alaska Storm tight end Yassine Clifton up across the way there, and you know those passes, those out routes are his bread and butter. He used to catch a lot of those out there, and he does so again here.
Johnson in the shotgun, one receiver each side again. Plenty of time, goes down the middle of the field, wide open, put it on the board. But Deir Ajelani scores the touchdown, and Houston goes back up by 2 scores.
You absolutely cannot leave him alone in the scene like that. Just look at this again. Look at this breakaway speed. And it was just too late. Whoever was coming down and saw that he was going by him, I think that was Barnes there, it was way too late. Absolutely blown away by Houston so far.
You can see head coach Shan Varner and Dylan Rowland getting into it on the sideline. We have hit the 2-minute warning here from Houston. The Hyenas looking to go up 14-6 on the David Griffin kick. The only thing he's had to do today is kick off and kick extra points. I mean, that's a good day if you're a kicker, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't miss or get blocked, I mean, it's always a great day out there when you're able to get some points for yourself.
Kick is up and through. 2 minutes to go first half. Houston 14, Chicago 6. This is the SFL quarterfinals presented by APM Music on YouTube. Now, after this game concludes, do not go away, because the dynamic duo of Cameron Irvine and Stephen Mullinax are in Baltimore and have the call as the Season 9 champion Mexico City Aztecs face off against the Baltimore Vultures in their quarterfinal game. That is tonight, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch.tv, so do not move a muscle. As that was returned by Carter up to the 26-yard line, and Chicago, I think, be it a field goal, extra point, or touchdown, they need points before the half here if they want to go into the half thinking that they can still win this football game.
And not only that, but now we're in the point in time where it gets real difficult for them to go down the field knowing they can't run the ball as much.
Oh, E.T. King, he's going to air it out, and it's knocked away. Ryan Michaels, head on a swivel, and has the arm up to block the pass. And I think if we've learned one thing this half, you don't throw it or run it anywhere near number 24.
No, he's been having an outstanding season, and definitely is having a great night tonight. His side seems to be the lockdown side because no one's getting past him.
Chicago really loves this heavy set, and they love throwing the swing routes out. Let's see. They're going to go to it again. Willis in plenty of space. He's going to turn upfield, and he's going to get shouldered down after a gain of 5. Tyleek Jones, that's his 3rd solo tackle on Willis in this first half, and all of them have come on those swing route patterns.
You just shut out the stiff arm much too soon, and you know you no longer have any power on it when your arm's out like that, so he left himself exposed and got decked for it.
Bunt receiver to the right. Single left. King has to move in the pocket, but throws out there to the far sideline and has Buchanan Simons for another first down out to the 38-yard line. And this is an efficient drive for Chicago so far. Nothing really that flashy. They're just getting the job done, moving the chains.
Really doesn't need to be. The game is close. You remember in the first series, they got to the red zone, and then they had an interception because they kept forcing passes. They know better than to do that against this defense, so they're doing well.
E.T. King under center, hands to Willis, bottled up and dropped for a loss of 1. Chad Tackle got his body in the way, and here comes the up-tempo offense for the Wildcats. Second down at 11 from their own 37, with 1:03 to go and counting. Another run to Willis, and again he's dropped right at the original line of scrimmage. Give him another yard. They'll take a timeout. Damian Hutchison made the tackle on that play, assisted by Chad Tackle again.
If I was the quarterback there, I would have just killed the play at the line the second time. I don't know why you would run the same thing twice, hurrying it up just to do that. That doesn't make much sense. You want to catch the defense off their feet. You have to throw the ball in that situation.
Under a minute to go now, 3rd and 9 from their own 39. Need to get up quite towards midfield to make a first down. And E.T. King knows that he drops back to pass, but he's forced to underthrow to Willis. And Willis just gets right back to the line of scrimmage, forcing a punt with 48 seconds to go and counting.
And that was just a coverage check down there. He really didn't want to have to do that, but there was nothing downfield, and if he forces it again, it's as good as the punt they're making right now, so that's all they could do.
The punter for Chicago is Malcolm Perrin. He's on to punt for the first time today. He's standing back at his own 25 as Chicago really trying to run the clock down. They don't want Houston to get any time to put more points before the half. And it's received with 10 seconds to go, and Josh Fed is down at the Houston 26, 7 seconds to go. They get one play, Levant. What do? Do you bomb it for the end zone, or do you just run it up the middle and go to the break?
Honestly, you don't want to give this Chicago defense a chance to pick it off. I would probably just go to the break.
It looks like that's what they're doing here. No Hail Mary formation out from the Hyenas. Johnson under center as he throws a quick slant pattern over the middle to DR Sim. That'll run out the clock. We have hit the halftime break. The teams head to the locker rooms, but we will keep it right here for some halftime analysis with Levant Mercer and myself, Michael Cirillo, as you sit back and watch the first half stats and highlights. So, Levant, thoughts on the first half? Is a bit of a cagey defensive affair. Not really what we were predicting in our talks before the game.
No, it wasn't, but I feel like part of this has to do with just them understanding each other very well. You know, when you get into playoffs, you know that you have to really understand your opponent each and every match coming up, because these are vital moments for both these teams. So probably came out a little conservative. They just didn't want to have as many turnovers. You know, turnovers are a killer in this league, you know. So in this half, you just saw a bit of that go against Chicago right here. And it's that turnover right now that I feel that has Houston up right now. They're winning the turnover battle. Warren Murray is, once again, look at this run. He's just absolutely probably one of the fastest men on the field. And that just seems to be the difference. Those two breakaway plays, one right here and the other by Ajulani, where he just got up on the seam and just absolutely destroyed Barnes there. And Chicago just needs one or two of those plays. As we see here, Simons has the ability to do so. Varner hasn't been involved so far today, and I think that's a mistake. I think they really need to get to him. And Johnson, and for Houston, look at this. Look at the poise and the presence of Johnson back there in the pocket. The rookie's doing really great so far today.
Let's
So
take a look at some first half stats. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at some first half stats for E.T. King, 11 of 16 for 99 yards and an interception. For Kentez Johnson, 6 of 6, 83 yards and a touchdown. So much more efficient out of Johnson. For the running backs. And we'll get you those numbers in the middle of the third quarter as we are back out onto the field. Thank you, Levant, for the halftime analysis. It's a very close game here in the first quarterfinal, and we are underway. Game on in the second half between the Chicago Wildcats and Houston Hyenas, as their owner DR Sim likes to say. Good return by Corey Carter to start the half for Chicago. Down 14-6, but they will start with the football at their own 37-yard line. Once again, welcome back to Hyena Den Park Stadium in Houston. I am your play-by-play commentator, Michael Trillo, joined by Levant Mercer. E.T. King under center, Wildcats, and they're all white tonight with orange and pink highlights as Willis gets the ball and gets nowhere on first down as he bounced it outside.
That's just something that they have to get better at doing. If Houston wants to really get a foothold in this game, they need to stop Willis from breaking through.
E.T. King in the gun this time, 2 left, single right. And King is going to throw. He winds back and fires, and it's picked off in the one-on-one match. And guess who it is? It's Ryan Michaels. The reason we haven't seen that side develop today for Chicago is because Ryan Michaels has been playing shutdown defense, and this time he actually comes away with a pick.
This right there is just something you absolutely can't do. He overthrows his receiver. He's trying to go on that outside shoulder there, and that's not a place to throw it. You already see that Michaels has the height on this man and the experience. He just absolutely dominated that 50-50 ball. And it comes back to bite Chicago. I spoke to it in the half. They can't have the ball turned over like that. They threw at Michaels, and they paid for it.
Michaels out-jumps Torres, and now the Houston offense back on the field. And a quick pass to the outside, 8 yards for DR Sim. He's been pretty quiet tonight, but both offenses have been primarily using the run game.
Well, that's just because, once again, they're just going out to the weakness of the defense. They know that, Chicago has the third best when it comes to passing yards allowed. Houston has the 9th. And that's just something that both teams that were usually so vertical understand. And they just know that they have to trust the running backs a lot more.
Maybe as this game, gets a little older and the secondary gets a little tired for Chicago, Houston can start taking some more shots like that one. As knocking over a Chicago player on the sideline was Badira Ajlani, only his second catch of the game. His first catch was the touchdown in the second quarter to put Houston up 14-6. And Chicago, Shan Varner's throwing that flag. They're going to see if Ajlani maintained possession and stayed in bounds here.
Now remember, in the SFL, you only need 1 foot in bounds. So let's see if he has that 1 foot he needs. It would have to be right about here, and I think he has it.
I think he does too. It's pretty close, but I think he maintains contact with the ground through his left foot.
After review, the play stands.
And the play does stand, and Chicago loses a critical timeout. It's still a 2-possession game early in the third. And if it comes down to being a 1 or 2 score game in the fourth quarter, that timeout could be very huge, but Shan Varner thinks stopping this Houston drive is important. Let's see what the defense dials up here for Chicago. DR Sim stands right at his 50-yard line, moves in the pocket, throws across his body and picks up 6 yards. DR Sim again makes a great catch on the sideline.
You know, he hasn't been involved too much in the game so far, but the catches that he has made has opened up the field for others, and that's the sort of thing DR Sim is good at. At this point in his career, he's probably wants the ball more than what he's getting, but he's also okay with that. He understands as a veteran what his role is at times.
DR Sim in his 7th season, 6th here in Houston, and Warren Murray gets bottled up and dropped for a loss of 2. A couple of white jerseys in on the tackle, Barnes chiefly among them from the safety spot. He was spying the running back all the way on that play.
That's just one of the adjustments they really had to make on defense coming into this half. They've had a real issue containing Murray.
Now on 3rd and 6, it's going to be up to Kentez Johnson to pick up the first down. Got to get to the 35. He's going way down the field, and it's caught in traffic. But Deer Ajelani makes another catch just shy of the 20. Mark him at the 22. First down, Houston.
That's his 3rd pass into multiple coverages there, but as we see, there are ways to throw into it. And that right there, he had enough loft to get over the other defenders, and it was on the outside shoulder, on the shorter and, much smaller secondary, right, member there. And they did a good job at getting it to Ajelani. Great job by the rookie.
Johnson stands in the pocket again and out route to DR Sim. He'll pick up 6 yards and get out of bounds, and has a little bit of words with Brandon Vesey on his way back to the line of scrimmage, and putting Brandon Vesey on DR Sim, an interesting move by the Chicago defense. And every time Sim's made a catch, he's seemingly been wide open on the sideline. 2nd and 4 from inside the red zone. Quick pitch over the middle, and DR Sim is pummeling his way down inside the 10. He may be a little older than some of these rookies, but he still has the power to move the chains.
And this is those vital times in the second half that you need to rely on your veterans to make plays like that, because he is a proven factor in playoff games.
Now inside the 10. Johnson reads the defense, changes the play at the line. They've got 3 receivers split to the far side. And Warren Murray in the backfield. Murray's going to get the ball running to that far side. He's got plenty of blockers, and he walks into the end zone. Put it on the board. 2nd touchdown of the game for Warren Murray. And Houston is running away with this one.
Man, this has just been the Warren Murray show right now. Just look at this again right here. No one was around. The blocks off the edge sealed the gap for him, and that's it. That's all he needed. Walked right in the end zone like a stroll in the park.
And this time it was easy for Warren Murray. They just ran it strong side to where all the wide receivers were out there. They picked up good blocks, and there was nobody to bring down Warren Murray. David Griffin looks to continue his perfect night on the extra point side, and he'll put that up and through. So with 7:46 to go, 3rd quarter, Houston 21, Chicago 6. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on twitch.tv. Stay with us. And Levant, it's go or go home time for Chicago, don't you think?
Yeah, it is, and this is one of the times now that you can't really say that they're out of it. Chicago in the past couple of games have come back in close games. So, situations like this, adversity, the adversity of the situation won't get to them. E.T. King knows this, the rest of the team knows this. They thrive in situations like this. But yes, I would agree. It is still, they have to go and they have to score on this drive, or it may be perilous for them going further into the game.
And reminder that this is a Chicago team that is only 2 seasons removed from being in the championship game. And of course, they got steamrolled by the Ray Bentley machine, but they were there as E.T. King throws over the middle, complete at the numbers past the 40, first down to the 41. Buchanan Simons picks up another first down for the Cats.
And I feel like there's still enough time in this game for them to have a couple methodical drives down the field and get their points and keep the Houston offense from getting back onto the field. So if anything has, a lifeline for them, it's controlling the clock now.
Heavy formation. We've only seen swing routes out of this formation. We're going to see it again. Willis, going to get a block? No. And he's going to be down after only 3 yards. Brandon Ainsworth was out there, but he could not seal the sideline. And Ryan Michaels came up and made another nice tackle.
Ryan Michaels has had a great night so far. But he can't be the only person doing things.
And he hasn't been. Blake Chance has an interception. Tylee Jones made a couple of tackles. This entire Houston defense has stepped up today as a pass over the middle complete, and nobody was around to knock the ball away from J.C. Torres. Remember on the last Chicago drive, he lost the one-on-one battle and had the ball intercepted. This time, he makes sure to hang on to the football and pick up big yardage across midfield.
One of the keys here is that this time he wasn't in a 50-50. He was in a soft spot of the zone, soft gap, and E.T. King just passed it low. And that's probably an adjustment from earlier when he threw it high into his outside shoulder and got picked off.
3 receivers to the left side in a bunch formation. Single right, E.T. King under center. He'll drop back to pass. Fires to the far side in a one-on-one coverage, and the catch is made out there, close to a first down. Give him 9 yards to the Houston 28, and a catch picked up by Corey Carter.
So now both teams are opening up their passing playbook into this half, and for Chicago, it's very important now to keep the focus on how they want to call plays into the red zone, because that's where they got picked off in the first quarter.
The only time they've been in the red zone today, they did throw an interception in the end zone. E.T. King back to pass, throws it to Willis. Willis has got a first down and a little bit more up to the Houston 26, giving him 3 yards and a first. Tylee Jones made another solo tackle on Willis.
For those of you wondering why it is that Chicago has pink accents on their uniform, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that's just how they want to show respect for sufferers and survivors of that.
A very nice message coming out from the Chicago camp, and another swing route. Willis makes the catch and tries to drive through a couple of defenders. He'll pick up 5 yards, get to the 20. Driven out of bounds by Tylee Jones and Eddie Gage. And we've seen that. That's the only play that Chicago runs out of that heavy no receiver set. And the Houston defense is really keying in on it and shutting it down.
Yeah, they understand they're not really going to run out of it at this point of the game.
Handoff. Willis looking for an opening, and he finds one down inside the 10 and down to the 9. He waited for his blocks to develop and then pounded through the gap.
What I do like seeing from Chicago in this drive is I've seen numerous adjustments. As you see here, he waited for his blocks to get made, waited for the gap, crossed right through, and got into the secondary.
Now Chicago down inside the 10. Let's see if E.T. King can shake his first half demons and put the ball in the end zone. Chicago really needs it right now. 4:55 to go, third quarter. Down 21-6 in a hostile environment here in Houston, and Willis is going to go down behind the line of scrimmage.
Already has 88 yards and 20 carries so far, and later on into the game, you might start to have concerns of overuse, and they're still behind, so they have to score here if they want to continue using them later in the game.
Eddie Gage, he made another tackle on Willis, and Willis gets the ball again, gets a block, and he's going to get down to the 7, picks up 3. And now 3rd and goal. They're trying to avoid using the arm of E.T. King in the red zone, but now they're going to have to lean on him on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, they went a little bit too conservative on this red zone run this time, and I feel like they really just have to get into the end zone right now.
2 receivers right, single left, 2 in the backfield. King under center. E.T. King to throw. He has no time. He has a lot of time. He throws to the end zone and tipped in the air and incomplete. He was looking for J.C. Torres, and for the second time, he can't find him in the end zone.
So he just tried to muscle the ball in there. You saw he was holding the ball too long. He wasn't even sure if he was going to throw to Torres. You saw him hesitate, and I think in that moment of hesitation, he lost his chance to throw to Torres, and that's what happened. He just hit his hands incomplete.
Jesus Garcia on for the chip shot field goal. And it is up and right down Main Street from 23 yards. Garcia has all 9 of Chicago's points tonight, but he's going 9 against 7, and Houston's offense has proven that they can put the ball in the end zone. Chicago's hasn't, and that's the difference in the game right now, as we have just over 3.5 minutes to play here in the third. I am your play-by-play commentator, Michael Turillo, joined by Levant Mercer with me here in the booth from Hyena Den Park Stadium in Houston, where the hometown Hyenas are in the driver's seat and looking to advance to the semifinals for the second time in 2 seasons. And Josh Fed could return this time up to the 31-yard line, decent field position for Kentez Johnson and company.
So there's a positive and there's a negative that come out of Chicago's last drive. The positive is they got their defense a breather. They held the ball a long time, so they got Houston's offense off the field. Problem is they only came off with 3 points, and they needed 7 on that drive. So let's see how they do on this defensive drive.
The onus really is on Chicago's defense to get a takeaway now, as Kentez Johnson going to throw it short to Murray out of the backfield, and Murray takes 3 white jerseys to bring him down, not after he gets 3 yards. It's Brandon Veazey was in on the tackle. Also, Blake Hamrick was in there. Also, Jesse Vick. White shirt swarming to the football, but it says a lot about Kentez Johnson that deep into the third quarter, he's still running over people like that. 2nd and 7 now from the Houston 34. 3 minutes 10 to go at the snap, and it's another check down to Murray. Spin move, and he won't get the first down. It'll be close, though. 3rd down and 2 coming up from the Houston 39.
Now, there's one thing I want to point out of that play. You saw a little hesitation at the beginning. He was trying to see where the defense was going to pursue him from. He probably gained 1 or 2 more yards because he was able to get to the outside of his defender there. So Warren Murray is a problem so far for Chicago.
2 receivers each side, 4 in the formation. Johnson airing it out there, and it's caught. A teardrop pass across midfield and down to the Chicago 39. Big play, Badir Ajelani at it again with the amazing catches.
And he's just having a day out there. Johnson has just been peppering this defense. Look at that again. It was a little bit of a risky pass getting it over him, but he saw that the defense was a little, was caught lacking there. He wasn't really tracking the ball. He took advantage of that and right into Ajelani's hands.
And sometimes you don't have to muscle the ball in there. You can just teardrop it right over the defense for 30 yards and another first down in enemy territory. Swing pass out to the fullback this time. He tried to make a cut move and got 9 yards out of it. Ankle tackle by Jesse Vick. And that's only the 2nd time the ball has been touched by Mike Allen today, and that's his best run of the 2.
Feel like he's being inspired by Murray back there in the backfield, and it worked out for him. I'm surprised they didn't give him the first down there.
On 2nd and inches, an easy pass out to Murray. Double spin move, triple spin move, and down the sideline. He uses the 4th spin, and he gets to the 10-yard line. Warren Murray, you are ridiculous.
I just feel like he knows I don't like that move, and he just knew I was going to be on it today. Let's look at it again. This is all he did. Spin, spin, spin. Is this the Hyenas or the Hurricanes? Because right now they're just barreling over everyone. Just look at him. He's a human tornado, just making everyone look silly out there.
Warren Murray, if he's not player of the game, I don't know who is. Now inside the red zone at the 10-yard line, the Houston offense looking to lay more hurt on the Chicago defense. Hand off up the middle, Murray this time. He will be stopped short. Only a 3-yard pickup down to the 7. And something I do want to mention right now, while we're all praising Warren Murray for having a great game, Kentez Johnson is 18 of 18 for 198 yards and a touchdown.
I cannot believe what I just heard. This man is perfect on the day so far. That is amazing.
Against one of the league's best passing defenses, and Warren Murray, oh, I thought he was going to spin away from everybody, but you could not fool Clint Hendershot that time. Brings him down at the 5, 3rd and goal coming up, and Houston doesn't have to snap the ball again. They can just run this down to the end of the 3rd quarter with 15 seconds left to go on the game clock. And let's see what they do. They've got 3 receivers set to the left. And it's going to be a handoff. Murray, oh, he runs past one tackle, runs past another tackle, and as time expires in the 3rd quarter, you can put it on the board again. Warren Murray has his hat trick of touchdowns on the night.
Is this Warren Murray am I looking at, or did they just figure out a way to get Ray Bentley in here? Because look at this. Absolutely demolishing the defense so far today. He just gets through and gets in the red zone a 3rd time. And so the 3rd time.
Apparently, Chicago's kryptonite in the playoffs is amazing running back performances, because the last 2 playoff games they have played, they've been run over by amazing running backs. Ray Bentley back in the Season 9 championship, and then Warren Murray today just obliterating the Chicago defense all over the field. The extra point is up and good from David Griffin. It is 28-9 Houston, and this is looking like a bit of a rout here in Texas tonight. Reminder that after this football game, stay tuned right here on the SFL Network on Twitch.tv. The Commissioner, Cameron Irvine, and Stephen Mullinax will be in Baltimore at Vultures Field as those Season 9 champions Mexico City Aztecs come to town to play the Baltimore Vultures in the second of 4 quarterfinal games over the next 2 days here on the SFL Network on Twitch. So keep it right here for all the SFL action that's fit to print. The playoffs are here, and it's exciting for everybody involved. The clock has run out on the 3rd quarter. Houston in the driver's seat up 28-9. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors of the SFL. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us.
APM Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to forum.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library, and custom music house.
Welcome back to Hyena Den Park Field in Houston, Texas, as the 4th quarter begins. Put your fours up, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Carter starts the fourth quarter off right, picking up 11 yards and a first down to the Chicago 42-yard line. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Michael Girillo, joined by Levant Mercer, and the third quarter was all about the Houston offense and specifically Warren Murray.
Warren Murray has just been on a torrid pace so far today, but let's not forget that Kentez has been perfect so far today. Nope, like literally perfect.
Literally perfect. Kentez Johnson, 18 of 18, 198 yards, had a touchdown. There's a high snap by E.T. King, throws it short over the middle. That pass is caught and is good for 4 yards. Right to the Hyena logo, to the 46-yard line. That's Shan Varner's only second catch of the game. He has been an absolute non-factor in this ballgame, and somebody I mentioned at the top of the broadcast had to have a good night if Chicago wanted to win this game.
He was the vital man in the Queen City game.
E.T. King, plenty of time to throw, rifles it over the middle, into the zone. That pass is complete, past midfield and down to the 35-yard line. And Chicago has hit the go button here. 2 first downs in 3 plays. J.C. Torres picks up another catch.
I mean, right there, you just saw that nobody was around him running that slant route the whole time. Just look, no one until the very end was any red shirts around.
9 minutes, 45 seconds and counting to go in the ball game. And it's that much time to go in Chicago's season unless they can pull out a miracle here in the next 10 minutes or less. Houston's defense shifting all over the field, which leaves plenty of space for Corey Carter to run down the sideline. Spin move and 2, and he picks up a first down to the 20-yard line. That puts him in the SFL presented by 8 p.m. Music Red Zone. And Chicago's on the move.
That's just the ultimate form of disrespect. Not only did they, wait for them to set, which, okay, that part's okay, but he went out there and he did the spin moves just like Murray did.
He said, hey, if you can be a Dust Devil, so can I. Blitz shown here, and Willis runs right through it and gets a couple of yards. And they really sold out on the run there, and Houston was able to capitalize on it.
Well, that right there is just trusting your back right there. Sent out an all-out blitz. They could have passed behind it, but they decided to go with the run anyway.
2nd and 8 from the Houston 17. Another run from Willis. Willis got plenty of space, and he'll pick up 6 yards. Down to the Houston 12. Sets up a 3rd and 3.
Now, as we said all season, when it comes to the end of ball games, teams that continue to go to the running back are realizing that, the clock isn't their friend.
They're going to go to Willis again, and Willis gets blown up in the backfield. That's the second time they've run that counter run in this ball game, and it's the second time they've lost yards on it. B.J. Loveless, big tackle in the backfield.
They're just getting a little too scared when they get to the red zone like this. They just can't seem to get it together.
And the kicker, Jesus Garcia, is on the field again for his 4th kick attempt. And his 3rd relative chip shot. This one's going to be from 29 yards. And the kick is up and good from 29. And it has been the Blake Hamrick, the Jesus Garcia show for Chicago. That's the only offense they've had all night. He's got all points. It's 28-12. Houston still leads with 7:31 to go in the ball game.
Well, whoever has him in a playoff-themed fantasy football league is pretty happy for that. But Chicago is not. They want more points from every other source rather than just the kicker.
Garcia puts the ball in the air. And Fed takes it from inside his own 10-yard line. He got a good block, and it's up to the 29. Let's run you through the other quarterfinal matchups. As I've mentioned previously, coming up right after this ball game is Baltimore hosting Mexico City with Kevin Irvine and Stephen Molinax at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, right here on Twitch. Tomorrow, Monday night, the other 2 quarterfinal games. Tallahassee hosts Queen City with Damon Simeon and Troy Gaines on the call at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, and I'll get to the final game after this 1st and 10 for Houston. Johnson looking over the middle, caught. He's still perfect on the day. And he hasn't been making the easy passes either. He's been throwing ones into traffic like that, and they're still paying off with 9-yard gains.
No, he's been really testing the defense every time he does throw. There have been a couple passes that I feel were, not the best decision he could have came out of, but it didn't matter because for some reason or another, they just keep getting in the hands of the receivers.
I formation, 2nd and 1 from the 39. This is Warren Murray territory, and Murray was bottled up in the backfield, rolled over one defender, but could not get away from the rest of the entire Chicago defense. Felt was in the backfield there. A.J. Barnes makes the tackle, forces a 3rd and 3. The 4th and final quarterfinal game is Sioux Falls at Alaska. The defending champions host the Sparrows, and that is 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern on Monday night. That's Andy Hamilton and Ramos Lynn on the call for that one. Johnson throws near side, complete, and a first down. Yassine Clifton from the tight end spot picks up another first down, moves the chain. 6:21 to go for fourth quarter, rather. And Houston's going to burn a lot more clock.
You know what's interesting about all this? He still doesn't have a perfect rating. He only has 126.46.
I wonder why that is. We shall never know as Johnson, high snap, corrals it though. He was alone in the backfield, so it's pass all the way, and it's complete again. First down pass midfield to the 49-yard line. Another big pickup that time. Was that Warren Murray out of the backfield making a catch down the field? This man does it all.
I mean, to be honest, what is there that he can't do so far today? He's ran on the inside, caught passes, gone on the outside. That's everything you expect.
He's ran 73-yard touchdowns, does it all. And this time, dangerous passes. Kentez Johnson throws his first incompletion. He almost threw it right to Jeremy Lane, and he's lucky that one wasn't picked off and heading the other way.
So, every game that we've had together, we've either had a really late punt, or in this one, the first incompletion coming this late in the fourth quarter. We always have a first really late into the game.
And for Houston, I mean, they couldn't have asked really any more out of their back, Kentez Johnson. Took over for Ahmed Shima, who left for the Sharks. And this time it's batted away again. He was looking for Clifton on the out route pattern. That's a second straight pass knocked down for Jeremy Lane.
Well, that right there is just wonderful vision by the defense. He just saw where the quarterback was going, and he just jumped the route. And sometimes playing the ball like that aggressively is a good thing. Other times you get burnt, but he made the right decision that time.
Now 3rd down and 10. Got to get inside the Chicago 40-yard line for a first down. Johnson, pressure at his face, throws the ball out there, and it's knocked away. 3 straight incompletions. He was looking for Barry Bergens coming across the middle of the field. If that had been complete, it would have been a first down, but Dylan Rowland with the hands up there to knock the ball away.
That's just something that you want to see out of your linebackers there. Sometimes they're caught in zone coverage like that, and you just need to know you're not going to you don't have the hands of even the secondary. So swatting it away is your best option most times, and that's what Chicago really needs. They just need the ball back.
And they are going to get the ball back. Only a second punt of the game for Brian Adams. He had one in the quarter and now one in the fourth quarter. And that's a pretty good day if you're a punter as well. You don't want to be on the field that much. As Corey Carter is going to be pinned inside his 15-yard line down at the 14.
That's just one of those times you would have preferred to just fair catch it. I mean, you don't want to risk, dropping the ball there.
And Levant, as we get down to the end of the game here, I mean, there's still 5 minutes and 16 seconds to go, but it's a long shot for Chicago to come back in this game. They're at their own 14-yard line, going right to left across your radio dial, wearing the all-whites tonight with pink and orange highlights as they pass out there to Torres. Torres doesn't get out of bounds. He goes for the yards, and Ryan Michaels took him down. I want to reflect a little bit on the Chicago Wildcats season because they were in the tough Eastern Conference. They didn't have to fight through Wild Card Wednesday. They got 8 wins. They're back in the playoffs. A successful bounce-back season after a down year last year.
Not only that, but they battled through adversity this season.
E.T. King looking to the far sideline. Torres caught first down, and he will get out of bounds. Stop the clock.
They had a really slow start to the season at the beginning. They started picking up some key victories, and towards the end, as you know, we remarked at the top of the broadcast, they just had a torrid run through that division at the very end. They beat Queen City and Carolina.
So, you know, nothing to shake a stick at. Chicago can be very happy with how they've played this season. Is over the middle and, running the wrong way. He didn't pick up the first down. I think that was Shan Varner over the middle, making another catch, but he got bounced back behind the line of scrimmage, up-tempo offense. E.T. King stands in the pocket, and he throws, almost intercepted. It was in and out of the hands of Blake Chance, who already has a pick in this ball game.
I just feel like he had an open receiver out he just needed to progress one more receiver to the right, and he would have had an open man. But, you know, sometimes in the up-tempo offense, you kind of get scrambled. You feel like you have to make a play, and sometimes things like that happen.
And now, E.T. King's alone in the backfield on 3rd and 1. They do not want to run the ball at all. Throws to the far side. Michaels tips it, and it's incomplete. Ryan Michaels has been the defensive star tonight for the Hyenas. Another great pass defense, and it's 4th and 1, and I think Chicago's got to go for it here.
Not only that, but it's going to be difficult because, you know, this Houston defense has been stout. You know, Michaels has been everywhere with 1 interception, 3 deflections so far today.
4th and 1. The crowd gets loud here in Houston. They know their Hyenas making a second straight SFL semifinal. E.T. King, teardrop pass over the middle, incomplete. Knocked away by Blake Chance. It was intended for Shan Varner. And that might be the ball game. It's a turnover on downs. Houston takes over.
Not to take any credit away from Chance, just look at that. He almost got his 2nd interception today, and he stole points off the board earlier in the game with that interception in the red zone. And that right there is the sort of defense you need to have at the end of games, whether you've won it by this much or in a close game. In the playoffs, Houston can hang their heads up high on it going into next week.
I don't know why you don't run it with Willis there. You have 2 timeouts, and he's been your most consistent offensive weapon all game. And now it's going to be the Warren Murray show as he bounces it outside, breaks 1 tackle, gets 9 yards, and stays in bounds. Clock continues to run. It'll go down under 4 minutes to go.
Well, the key issue is if they did run it there, they'd be killing the clock. But right now, I mean, that's moot because now Houston's killing the clock with Murray. So it's always a tough decision to make.
Coach Varner put it in the hands of E.T. King, and King almost put it in the hands of Blake Chance. And Houston has the ball and is just running out the clock now. They don't think they'll snap it within 5 seconds. And here is Murray picking up an easy first down. Forward progress will give it to him. 1st and 10 at the Chicago 23, and as we watch this clock bleed away, as Chicago's hopes are bleeding away with it.
Yeah, and at this point, all Houston really has to do is just, you know, milk the clock down to like the very end of the play clock and just run it with Murray and see how he does.
1st and 10, Chicago 23-yard line. The clock will tick down under 3 minutes to go before this ball is snapped. Another handoff. Murray looking for some running room. He won't find it. He lost 2 yards. Great solo tackle by Clint Hendershot. He's been one of the shining stars for Chicago tonight. And let's talk playoff bracket, Levant. The winner of this game, which is going to be the Houston Hyenas, will not get an easy road to the finals as they play the winner of the Sioux Falls, Alaska game. Now, if Sioux Falls somehow upsets Alaska, the semifinals are right back here at Hyena Dunn Park Stadium in Houston. If not, they go to the Eye to face the reigning defending champions with a spot in the finals on the line. 2nd and 12. Johnson to throw. Just flares it out to the big man. That's Mike Allen, makes his 3rd contribution of the day, picks up 3 yards.
Well, no matter which team they face, they have to understand they might have to go back to being a vertical team.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. Houston on the cusp of going to their second straight SFL semifinal. The perennial playoff powerhouse is looking to lift the trophy for the first time. The Houston Hyenas have made the playoffs every year since their inception in Season 6. They lost the Season 6 title game to Queen City. They lost in the semifinals last year to Tallahassee, and we feel like this is the season that they could bring home the trophy as Chicago calls their second time out after the DR Sim catch, and it'll force a first field goal of the night for David Griffin.
That's another late first. But, you know, for Houston, I have to say that no matter who they face next, it's going to be a particularly tough road. You know, they can't just do what they did here and just run the ball with Murray, expecting him to just do the same thing. You know, Sioux Falls has a very stout, run defense. They showed that against Las Vegas, and Alaska just is who they are. They're a very well-balanced team. You know, Max Paul is, a mastermind, and Houston just would have to bring out all the stops, stop them.
Yep, and a field goal up and right down Main Street from David Griffin. So the one time he is called upon to boot home a 33-yarder, he comes through. Houston pushes the lead to 31-12 over Chicago, 1:51 to go. On the other side of the playoff bracket, tonight's game is Mexico City and Baltimore. The winner of that game will play the winner of Queen City at Tallahassee. That's the Monday night nightcap for a spot in the championship game. And how do you see the other side of the bracket playing out? And especially looking at tonight's second game, give me a quick prediction for Baltimore at Mexico City, or Mexico City at Baltimore, rather.
Well, here the thing is, Mexico City has been on a bit of a slide coming into the playoffs. They're probably one of the, they're probably the team with the most questions coming into that game, mostly because of their form towards the end of the season. But you know that they have a pedigree back there.
E.T. King going down the field, wide open. Casey makes the catch. He lands in bounds, though, so Chicago's going to have to call their final timeout. They are at the Houston 40, as Alan Ball was working one-on-one with Torres. And the ball it was a very well-thrown pass by E.T. King right over the back shoulder.
Let's go.
And Chicago is not letting us talk about the second matchup tonight, Mexico City and Baltimore, because they are driving and looking to put something on the board, go out of here with some dignity for their offense. And E.T. King, what was that? Oh no! A duck hits the ground in front of E.T. King.
That's just been basically that's the tale of the game right there. Just something just doesn't feel right about Chicago, and there it is again. Just something seems to be missing today.
And the Hail Mary formation is already out for Chicago on 2nd and 10, 1:39 to go. Throws over the middle, incomplete pass. Broken up, intended for Shan Varner, was knocked away by Troy Wilson. And let's get back to what we were talking about before, Mexico City at Baltimore.
So both teams have, stuttled towards the end, but I feel like Baltimore might just have the edge because, they have Thomas T-Pat as their coach, and he has led the Maulers to championships. So for Baltimore, that's a key acquisition for them, and he has the pedigree to take them through.
I mean, I'm going to counter that by saying never underestimate the power of a Ray Bentley. And, E.T. King's going down, back near midfield at the 47-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 17. Clock continues to run now, under a minute and a half to go.
Oh, nothing to take away from Mexico City. They have just as much as a chance in that game as do the Vultures. I mean, they have Hall of Famers on their team.
Bronze bomber Matt Wilson. E.T. King stands in, throws over the middle, and not going to make the first down. is Buchanan Simons. And that will turn the ball over to Houston, and that will be the nail in the proverbial coffin as Chicago's season will end tonight in the Texas.
Still, for the Wildcats, they still have to be proud of what they've accomplished this season, considering how it went for them last season. So they would like to build upon that in future years.
And the favorite formation for an offense to be in, the victory formation, is out from Houston as they will just run the clock out. And one more thing, Levant, talk to me about Chicago's offseason. What are they really looking for? What do they need to go after in the offseason to make this team a championship contender for season 12?
Honestly, I just feel like they just need to do a better job at retaining their pieces. I feel like the mid-season acquisitions they were forced to make really hurt them, and it's not that Simons or any of those other players they picked up, like Torres and such, were bad. That's not the case. The point is, you want to have some sense of continuity, and that's what Chicago really needs going into the future.
Things to think about for Shan Varner and company, but that's the final whistle here. Houston wins 31-12 over Chicago as the coaches are onto the field to shake hands, and Damon Simeon, a happy man right now. His Houston Hyenas are going to the semifinals. They pick up the 31-12 win at home. Could be the final home game for the Houston Hyenas on the season. Chicago ends their season at 8-5. Houston goes to 9-4 and will play another day. Final stats scrolling across your screen, and before we go off of the air, I just want to say thank you, Levant, for being my broadcast partner all season. It's been a pleasure working with you as this is the end of our time in the booth for season 11. It's been a great time here. Thank you to Cameron Irvine and Mike Daggs, the broadcast director, for giving us a chance to do our thing up here for you every week. And that's it for me. And Levant, any final thoughts on the season?
It's been a pleasure working with you likewise, and I just hope that we get to do it all over again next season.
Keep it right here on Twitch for Mexico City and Baltimore coming up next. But for the booth, for Levant Mercer and Scott LaRue on stats, I have been your play-by-play commentator, Michael Chirilla, saying see you next time.
See ya.